What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling incredible today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy higher self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, wherever Cancer. I was like, where else, Cancer? This one's for you. That one might be a stretch, but still. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the shenanigans with us, and never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, the Moon, she is still void, of course. Do not disturb is on her phone right now. We're still kicking back and relaxing. And hopefully if you found some time too, Cancer, during this void, of course, period, to just kind of kick back and relax here. Because when we're in void, of course, it's a good time for meditation and recharging your batteries. And this may be a time too, you may notice that your plans may be subject to change, and then people are less likely to make decisions during this time. So just something to be mindful of, Cancer, when we're in this energy, okay? And then with the Moon being at home, being in Cancer, where the Moon is comfortable being at home, she's comfortable being at home. So that means we're going to feel all of the emotion. She's letting her hair down. We're putting on pajama pants, kicking it in that big t-shirt, and we're just Netflix and chill. That's where the Moon's at. This is a really energy. Wait a minute. I was like, hold on. But it's very much, the Moon is very comfortable, so you're going to be feeling more kind of emotional. You may be feeling a little more nurturing, a little more sensitive at this time. I feel like sensitive to our emotions, but also to others as well. Just sensitive to the environment, Cancer. So this is just good energy to kind of really, if you have someone that maybe we're nurturing, maybe taking some of that energy there. But if not, take some time and nurture yourself, Cancer. This is a good time to focus on ourselves at this time. And also, the Moon is in a waxing gibbous phase now. And so with this, we're clarifying our direction. We're getting towards the final stages before we get to that celebration with the, with the full Moon going to be in Virgo next week. So, if we have any sort of adjustments or refining or anything that we need to do, Cancer, Ooh, all right. Now's the time, Cancer. And you'll see why we're freaking out in a second. We're not freaking out. Don't panic, Cancer. And lastly, the decks that I'm using. This one here is the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck. It's a Chariot Friends exclusive. And this one is, we're just going to cut it down short. This is the Astrological Oracle deck. And I don't think I included a link for this. I'm going to get, I've had a lot of stuff that I've been kind of balancing here, Cancer, as of late. I'm trying to, nature my problem. But I'm going to include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But Cancer... General energy of the day is the Tower. And with the Tower, Cancer, it's a good thing the Moon's at home. Because with the Tower, this is a good time, while we're in the void, of course, time too, Cancer, to kind of sit with yourselves, how we were reflecting yesterday. Are there any things in our lives that are holding us back, or that are just no longer serving us a purpose, and it could be a number of things, Cancer. If you notice, let's say, for example, I mean, it could be something as simple as like maybe how we sleep. Let's say you're used to being, staying up, real late, running on little sleep, but you notice that like as of late, it's that you haven't been able to operate the same, and you're getting tired earlier. That might be something where maybe we have to like adjust our sleep, or let's see, what's another thing, maybe as far as like letting go, maybe as far as like if we're thinking like diets, maybe if there are certain foods that aren't resonating with us, that aren't sitting well with us, maybe cutting out or maybe finding substitutes for these things that we like. Or really, Cancer, it's just any sort of, and this could be even to Cancer, even on a like a more kind of like a more like literal sense, or like a more physical sense. And this could be even just like, how's our space looking? Do we have like a lot of clutter going on right now? Because not that I feel like Cancerians are hoarders per se, but considering that we can, we're associated with the home. We can kind of, wherever we go, we kind of might pick up little knickknacks and things. Might have little mementos or something like that. And if we have some things though, Cancer, that have just been kind of like collecting dust maybe, or just like taking up space, and we've been planning to do something with it for 20 years or something like that, I say, Cancer, either dust it off and then let's do something with it, or let's maybe think about doing like a yard sale. And granted, we're not quite in the spring equinox yet, but I feel like there's never too early for a little bit of spring cleaning. Do like a cyclical spring or cyclical cleaning. Try saying that 10 times fast, Cancer. But this is really a good time, Cancer. And when we're doing this thing, Cancer, tower moments are not meant to scare us, and this could be something too. I'm hoping that we're in control of this tower moment, because sometimes I feel like the tower can be something that's in our control. If we're noticing things that aren't working, we can shake things up, Cancer. But maybe, let's say if we're going through something right now, let's say there's like these changes that are going down right now. Be with it, analyze that, Cancer, and understand why, this situation is going down. Let's say if we're having like, let's on the food kick, for example, let's say if we're noticing we're having adverse effects towards like certain foods and stuff, and we're not, it might got us feeling some kind of way. It's like, well, it's no longer serving the body a purpose. The body's changing, it has to adapt. And that feels like a weird example, but this could be just wherever, Cancer, just apply it to your situation. If there's anything that you feel that we've been wanting to get on in a while, this could be like, like let's say we've been wanting to quit smoking cigarettes, or maybe eating, eating some, cut down on maybe the sweets maybe, or making more time to move the body, maybe running, maybe we've noticed that we've been too still. But let's see how we can work with this tower energy, Cancer, because lately with, and one other thing, Cancer, while I'm thinking about this energy with the tower, I feel like this is a good time if there are some things that you want to start correcting. This really is a good time, Cancer, because we are getting ready to go through some big cycle changes here soon. Pluto's getting ready to move into Aquarius here. I want to say sometime today. I want to say it's happening, or it may be sometime this week. I have to double check on when Mercury's doing that. So that's going to be, or excuse me, not Mercury, Pluto. That's going to be a big change, because Pluto only moves planets every 20 or 30 years. And then you have Saturn that's going to be moving from Aquarius into Pisces. And so that's going to be another one too. There're going to be a lot of transitioning, big transitional energies that are going down, Cancer. And this is gonna affect all of us. But I feel like with Saturn moving into a water signs might feel it quite a bit too. So just something to be mindful of with this energy. But let's see how we can work with this stuff at this time. And when Saturn's moving into Pisces, it's going to be a big lot of energy, Cancer, because that's going to be the same day. It's going to happen about the 7th, and that's going to be the same day that the full moon's going to be in Virgo. And when I'm thinking about the moon in Virgo as well, Cancer, not that I feel like, this isn't health advice or anything, but, Virgo Virgo energy, I'm thinking about their house and stuff. Virgo has to deal with like routines and health and all those types of things. So, let's check, check up on, do like make sure our health is doing well. This is always good to like check in with yourself, Cancer. And then just also, if we're trying to get any good routines that we may want to get implemented, start getting that stuff in now. We can get ahead of these tower moments that are getting ready to come, Cancer. We can start getting an understanding of ourselves now. Really start tuning into your energies now, Cancer, because you probably already might be starting to feel some changes right now. The King of Crystals is that understanding, that wisdom. And I feel like this is wisdom really coming down to like understanding, how your energy and really too how our soul tribe, the people that are around us every day, kind of pay attention to how their energies are kind of interacting with yours. Just because, Cancer, how I talk about our sign is a very receptive sign. We pick up on other people's energies, especially with the moon being in Cancer. We're going to pick up on, be more attuned to people's emotions. So make sure that we kind of got eyes on that. If you've noticed if you've been in someone's certain energy for a while and you're noticing you're feeling that kind of way and you're not sure why that's going down, analyze your situation. Where have you been? What energies have you been around? And just kind of do some meditation more. Let's see what else is going on with this King of Crystals here. This is going to be a real... In Cancer, this is me not trying to scare you or anything. This is just more for me for you just to be mindful, of just how you're feeling right now. Because I'm Cancer, I'm feeling it too. All right, higher self. We got a little fun story about me. Yesterday was not cute. I mean, I was really feeling the moon in Cancer, and there were some other, like aspect things that, that were going down that just like, it was a lot of emotions, Cancer. And I'm feeling it, and it was even one of those things that even knowing that what was going down still was just like, what's going on here? And this is a good time, Cancer, to understand that when when I'm thinking about too, when we're going through these transitions right now, if you notice any sort of like emotions that you're feeling a little more intense than others, sit with that, and figure out what that is, or at least understand that if we're noticing like spikes in certain emotions, it's just like, okay, let's say, okay, like sadness I can handle pretty well, happiness, like, yeah, but fear, is like a big spike, or, like maybe anxiety is something that's a spike, or maybe even like, oh, I don't know, Cancer, pick an emotion. But yeah, that's something to pay attention to, when we're going through these transitions, so that we can operate from a calmer space. Because I'll tell you what, Cancer, even though that happened yesterday, it was nice to know there still was a little peace, even in all the craziness, that it's energetically, this is what's going down right now, and that is kind of syncing up, and it just like it helps you work with the energy more, Cancer. And this is something too interesting, some other ways we can work with this energy. You got the Page of Stars and the Page of Wands here. And so I feel like, Cancer, this for me is like, while we're going through these tower moments right now, maybe finding because sometimes when we're thinking about letting things go, that can be tough sometimes, and I feel like that when we're when we're talking about cycles all the time, we can look at this as, okay, yeah, this is ending, but what can I do to, what is some newness that I can bring into this space? Where else can I channel this energy? Let's say, for example, if you're quitting smoking, maybe you can channel this energy into jogging, or into art, or maybe into journaling, or whatever, just maybe creating yourselves some like, some new substitutes for these old things, and maybe that'll help make that transition a little bit better. If we're something If this is something where, if we notice that like we notice that if we get caught up in emotions, you know, okay, let's create some tools to, or that's not a good example, or I'm just trying to, you know, Cancer, whatever it is that we're trying to, that might be shifting for you. You know, I feel like if we can find some creative outlets or some creative ways to make up for the space that this thing is leaving, then I feel like that's going to help you process this tower moment a little bit better, because I feel like that's how we make tower moments happen for us as opposed to us. You know what I mean? And I hope that this makes sense, because this is something where we're getting into like really just big cycles like this, Cancer. This is something where we haven't like been tuned in before. It can be a lot at first, you know. There's a lot of energies, you know. There's been a lot of like towers and death cards and hanged mans. It's been the energy is it's shifting more. So yeah, this is going to be a time, Cancer, of adjustments, you know, and to finding some different ways to establish our new to establish our stability here. You know, there are going to be some decisions that are going to be made, Cancer. Any more here? There are going to be some decisions that are going to need to be made, Cancer, when we're going through this tower moment. You know, we can either choose to cling. I'm looking at the skull here. We can choose to cling to the thing that's holding us back, or we can explore some new options here. You know, find some things that are going to promote growth, that is going to get us to this place of where we're feeling stable again, you know, where we're feeling like we're back on track and everything is in harmony again, Cancer. So just something to think about when we're working with this tower energy. But let's see what are going to be some challenges for you when working with this. Oi. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're keeping those. Any more? All right. Oh, interesting. Oh, Cancer, you see what I'm talking about? Cancer, this is for real. Some challenges with this tower moment here. Let's see. Wasn't I talking about the death card? And here you are. I mean, in like the literal self. This has been popping up quite a bit, Cancer. You know, I feel like it's been kind of following us on and off here. The self card. This is one of the special cards in this deck here. You know, this is really asking, you know, to take a deep look at yourself, you know, Cancer, especially during this period of time right now. You know, I feel like this is going to be really important, Cancer, to tune in. Anyways, that are, because you got the Devil here and the Eight of Swords. If there are anything, Cancer, that you feel that's holding you back, that's keeping you confined, that's not helping your growth, we're going to need to take some steps and to fix that, because it may feel uncomfortable at first, Cancer. It may be something that we're just feeling a little reluctant, like it's like, oh, I may not, but like I don't have to give that up. That seems silly, you know. But Cancer, the more we resist this thing, the more uncomfortable this looks. But the Death card isn't just the end of something. This is a rebirth. There's something new emerging out of this, you know, where we're evolving from our old self and becoming something new. And with the Devil card here, Cancer, as well, whatever this is that we're letting go too, this is going to be something that is going to require your constant attention. You know what I mean? And that's not to, you know, make this like a daunting thing, but it's going to take some effort until this becomes, you know, until we get adjusted to this new way of operating. You know, get the groove of this cycle here. Because the Devil card, this is Capricorn energy. And the thing with Capricorn energy, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of restrictions and limitations. But Saturn, it does these restrictions and stuff in order for us to work on ourselves. And when we focus on self, the rewards are grand, Cancer. The transformation is spectacular, but it's one that we have to put in that work. Any sort of cages that we've built around ourselves, or any things that we felt that we thought was serving us a purpose, we gotta, and if it's not anymore, it's being, Cancer, really being honest with yourself. If there are areas, and if you do know this area that you feel like that you want to improve, be kind to yourself. It's going to take just because maybe we realize that we've been in this thing for a while, how we're going to get out of this. Like you might think you're in too deep, Cancer. The fact that you even thought about it, that we got eyes on it, that's a good first step. And then it's like, what do we want to do? What's going to be the next step? Process that. Be with it for a second. Then what are we going to do next? Keep it. Let's keep the growth going. And this is another thing too, Cancer. This transition is going to look different on everyone. It's one thing to, maybe get people's opinions during this time of how they're going through this energy shift, but, let's not compare ourselves to other people's evolutions. It's going to look differently on everybody, considering, what sign you're in, placements, all of that, where you're at on your journey. It's going to be a lot. So any more here? Okay. But let's see. Let's get some advice from the moon. Even though she's kicking back, she's still just because it's us, Cancer. She's cool giving us some advice. But let's get some advice working with this energy here. That Six of Crystals is following us too. This and the Self card just kind of kicking around here. But Cancer, you got brighter shores that you're getting ready to go on to. There's a new understanding that's coming of yourself. You're all King of Crystals here. And I don't know if I mentioned, Cancer, this isn't a gender-specific reading. You're absolutely King of Crystals. Look how wise you are. And this is that understanding that's coming on this horizon here, Cancer. But we just need to see the things that are no longer working for us. And if they're going to get in the way of this, of this growth, then we have a decision to make. Absolutely, Two of Crystals. You got a lot of stuff that you got. We're getting, good amount of crystal cards here, Cancer. We got a lot of stuff to think about here. And this is going to be one, too. The Two of Crystals, trust your intuition. Follow your heart. If you know deep down that this is not going to work, just figure out. Sometimes, Cancer, I feel like the best way, or how do I want to put this? I find if we can find a way to make peace with whatever it is that we need to let go, it's almost just like a thank you for. Okay, here's an example for you, Cancer. A little bit extra about me. There was a period of time where back when I wasn't really focusing on spirituality, I was really I love comic books, like little webtoons, and I would read them all the time. It's just like the fantasy world. I got some placements in the 12th house. It gets into a whole thing, Cancer. But there was a period of time where it was like, I loved it. It was like my jam. But after a while, when I started, started more working on myself, and, I still try to balance that out. But I noticed that I was pouring a lot of energy into it, and it was like checking out in a sense. And it was getting in the way of my growth. And it's like, well, Justin, couldn't you find a balance? And it's like, I wanted to, but it wasn't working for where I had to go. It served a purpose in the sense of like, it gave me good ideas for different, and I got some stuff, this is like long-term things that I'm thinking about, but it was one of those things where it's like, thank you for, you've served your purpose. And then I deleted the app, and then that made space to get, more studying and to get a lot more extra stuff done, I don't know if that made sense or not, Cancer, but that's just like one example. It doesn't even necessarily have to be something like super crazy big. This could be even like, if we feel like that, I'm thinking about comics, any sort of distraction. I feel like we watch too much TV, if we scroll on social media too much, or maybe play video games too long, or whatever, Cancer. Anywhere that we can find just a little more balance in our lives. More. Let's see what else is going down here. Boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Any more? All right, Cancer. Well, 1, Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Stars. I'm with it. 4 of Cups. Okay, let's switch back over here, Cancer. We're going to talk about this Wheel of Fortune in a minute. but first, Cancer, this is going to be a time where you may be feeling a little, because 4 of Cups, Moon in Cancer. Look at you, Cancer. This may be a time right now where you might not be feeling like you want. You may not be feeling receptive right now. Maybe this tower moment. Maybe for some, it might be ones where it's like we know that we know where we want the change to happen, but it might be one that we're just like we're not feeling it. You kind of see this girl here. She's just like, the universe is like, hey, you ready to change? She's just like, well, Cancer, the moon. Not to say that she's not going to keep her hand out all day, but at some point, the tower moment is going to be one of those. It's like, I feel like this is the opportunity to create the tower moment right now. The energy is giving us a chance to make any changes ourselves first before Saturn comes in. It's just like laying down the law. So I feel like that. Be mindful of where we're giving our energy to right now, Cancer. This could be another thing too. If we find that if you're like a yes person, that it's like, no matter where you're, even at your detriment, you're always like, yes, I'll help you. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. That may be something too, Cancer, that maybe we're thinking about adjusting to. Be mindful of where we're putting our energies at this time. This is a period of time right now where I'm thinking with the 9 of Stars, this is a card of stability right now, and like supporting yourself. Making sure, it's not to say that you're alone in this, Cancer, but energetically, this is your journeys are all, we're all going through something real unique right now in this transition here. So this is really taking this time, meditating during these voided courses, finding that inner peace, because Cancer, Wheel of Fortune, a new cycle, couple of new cycles are beginning here, Cancer. We're getting to a new time. This is, there's, the last time Saturn changed signs was around 2020, and madness happened. And not to say I don't feel, I don't feel like it's going to be anything super weird that's going down with Saturn being in Pisces, just because, Saturn, it might help. Pisces is very dreamy type of energy, and very creative, it rules in the 12th, or, rules the 12th house. It's partnered with, Neptune and Jupiter. But I feel like it's going to get us to this place of where we're going to kind of get our head out of the clouds, and it's going to help us face reality a little bit more. That might be a shock, maybe for some, but I don't feel like it's just going to be like where, I feel like the way things are, the illusions and whatnots, things are going to start shifting here, Cancer. And I feel like it's going to be, I feel like it can be a great thing, though. It doesn't have to be, if we're working against it, yeah, it's going to be tough. But we can find a way to work with the energies during these upcoming cycles here. There can be mad abundance, and I feel like even more so, like of overall of everything, abundance in a whole bunch of ways, Cancer, but really an abundance of understanding ourselves too, getting that type of wisdom. So whew, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. So hopefully you like that. We got some big energy coming here, but if you did, give that a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. Let's get the word out, because we got, it's game on. It's things are starting to look up here, and we're gonna, be adaptable during this time, be flexible. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week, or each day, every week, whatever, Cancer. So, Cancer, I'm glad you're here. So I started that idea that I had. I started a group. Let me start at the beginning. I started that group on Insight Timer. It's called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And right now it's just going to be a space to just post positive affirmations if you want to join. I have a link posted for it on Facebook. I'm still figuring out how to get it on Instagram and on YouTube. Like, hang tight. I'm working on it, but I definitely have the link on Facebook. And I'll figure out something, but maybe I'll post that like regularly on Facebook so that you can, if you're following me or something, you can check that out. But it's Zodiac's Raising the Vibration, so that's a cool space. Drop by, put in any sort of like, if you see any affirmations that that are uplifting to you, or have any sort of like encouraging messages. Let's raise the vibration, Cancer. It's like a little safe space to just like just help just get tighter as a soul tribe. So I hope you like that. It's on the app Insight Timer. We're not in any sort of like relationship or anything like that. It's just an app that I've been using for years, and I just enjoy it. So I thought, this is how I social media. So come on over. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars. Check it all, Cancer. And then go check out my other channel, really, Cancer. On that, check your personal planets. That's going to be, if you don't check anything else, your personal planets, sun, moon, rising, those are your big three. And then the planets that are constantly moving are going to be like your Mercury, your Venus, and your Mars. Those are going to be your ones that are real unique to you. So check those out, and that will help you give a real good start, to how you are, Cancer. And then check out my channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos with different monthly themes. I'm actually going to be changing up something too. Actually, you're bringing so many good ideas, Cancer, so keep it up. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card so I can get you out of here. Oh, yes, Cancer. Absolutely. Oh, and how nice, because it'll be in Leo tomorrow. So, like, Cancer, with the Strength card popping up, this is going to be, and not just like just today, but just going forward for a minute. Give yourself this month. Give yourself the month to adjust. There's going to be, maybe a little longer, but this is going to be a transition, and this is going to be mindful of where our vitality is at. Where our energy is at. This is, take care of yourself right now. Be mindful of where how we're feeling emotionally, how we're feeling physically, how we're feeling spiritually, and just make sure you're taking care of yourself, Cancer. Okay, this is gonna be an exciting time. I know it can feel like uncertainty right now, but it really is exciting. Wheel of Fortune, and the moon. Oh, come on, Cancer. That just dawned on me. The moon, sending us a Wheel of Fortune, giving us blessings like that. I say that that's a good sign, Cancer. And two, just getting the Four of Cups with the moon being in Cancer. Like these, I'm taking these as signs that, and even the Two of Crystals is the moon in Libra. I'm taking it as a sign, Cancer. So. Okay, that's enough of that, Cancer. Let me get you out of here. So I'm analyzing the cards. So stay safe out there. And you keep eyes on that moon. Actually, just go kick it with the moon today. I was like, that was a little aggressive. She ain't trying to do all that today. Kick back with the moon. Relax, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.